Yes. So, Valentina is still connecting. Okay. So let's start with meditation right away.
Hello, valuable sir.
Nice. Hello, Zoe. So let's sit in a comfortable meditation posture. Make sure your legs, hands, and face are visible. And we will meditate 15 minutes. Yes, hello, Andre. Nice to see you again. So we will meditate with eyes open, cast down, so we see the floor in front of us. And we can make the first determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on, for 15 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 15 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 15 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. And with that determination, we can gently, lovingly notice the flat piece of flesh at the top of the head. We allow it to be heavy. We continue to the forehead, eyes, nose, lips, chin, cheeks, ears, back of the head. We allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the head to be heavy. We continue to the neck, shoulders, arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms, fingers, tips of fingers, chest, abdomen, back, and we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the upper part of the body to be heavy. We continue to the buttocks, thighs, knees, calves, heels, soles, toes, tips of toes, we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the body to be heavy. We allow all of the body parts to be changing, to be the way they are. We give freedom to the body to be the way it is. As we give freedom to the body to be the way it is, we ourselves achieve freedom from worry about the body. So let's enjoy this freedom. Let's watch this peace. Now let's share our peace with other living beings. May all beings in this room be in peace. May all beings in this building be in peace. May all beings in this city or village be in peace. May all beings in this country be in peace. May all beings on this continent be in peace. May all beings on this planet be in peace. May all beings, including me, be in peace. Now, because the time for this sitting is finished, let's make the last determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. And with that determination, we can slowly, mindfully change the way of our sitting. Stay where you are. We will still take one more minute to enjoy the peace we gained in meditation. Now you can come close to your cameras. So today we can recite the 5 precepts and 3 refuges in the Sinhalese pronunciation. So you can unmute everybody. And we will be doing it without the paper because you already know it very well. Yamahang vadami tang vadeta. Aham bhante. Tisaranena saha. Panchasilang dhammang yajami. Anuggaham katva. Silang detha me bhante. Anukampang upadaya. Dutiyampi aham bhante. Tisaranena saha. Panchasilang dhammang yajami. Anuggaham katva. Silang detha me bhante. Anukampang upadaya. Tatiyampi aham bhante. Tisaranena saha. Panchasilang dhammang yajami. Anuggaham katva. Silang detha me bhante. Anukampang upadaya. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Okay. 3 times.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Very well. So always you repeat it 3 times, alright, for Namo Tassa. Okay, let's continue. Buddhang saranang gacchami, dhammang saranang gacchami, sanghang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami,
Saranaгаmanang paripurnang. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adinnādāna veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Kamesu miccācārā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi.
Kamesu Mechāchārā Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyāmi.
Musavādā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi.
Musavāda Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyāmi.
Surameraya majjapamadatthāna veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi.
Surameraya Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyāmi.
Tisaranena saddhiṃ pañcasīlaṃ dhammaṃ sādhukang surakkhitāṃ katvā appamadena sampādetaṃ. Very well. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you soon attain the eternal bliss of Nibbana.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Very well. So now let's move on to your homework right away. So let's start with Andre. Andre, you took care of story number 19. Let me open story.
Yeah.
The slave of passion, right? Maccha Jataka.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm listening.
Once upon a time, there was a bhikkhu in love with his former wife, and he asked the Buddha what to do, and the Buddha told this story as an explanation. Once there was a female fish that was seducing another fish to be her mate, but then she realized that some fishermen were holding a net. Thus she turned away, but the other fish was so passionate towards her that he did not even realize the net was there and was caught. While lying on the bankline, he was waiting to be pierced in the chest and to be set on fire. But that was the least of his worries. He was most worried about his mate. And then the king's captain heard and saved him before he would be born in hell because of this passionate state.
That's right. And it's actually very common in our scriptures that a man is in love with a woman, then for the woman he dies, and he is born in hell. So that's a lesson. Men should not be too much in love with a woman. But it's the same thing for ladies. When ladies are too much in love with a man and they suffer, well then they suffer. And they suffer not just in this life, but also in the next life. We have quite a few stories in our scriptures like that. A man is in love with a woman and she says, "Oh, I want a jewel from the king's palace." So he goes to the king's palace to steal it. As he steals it, the king catches the ministers or the king's people, they catch him. And then they kill him. And then he is born in hell. So, no need to suffer for the other person. Otherwise, you will suffer even more. It doesn't lead to any good outcome. Everybody then suffers. If you suffer for someone because she is a girl or because he is a man, then that is a problem. It is no problem to suffer for another person because they are your good friend, or because they're your teacher or your student or your child or your parent. That's not a problem. It becomes a problem if you suffer for a girl or a boy. There was even a case when an elephant and a monkey took care of the Buddha. And the elephant would prepare hot bath for the Buddha. Do you know how the elephant prepared a hot bath for the Buddha in the forest? The elephant would take a stick, and then then it would drill the stick over a stone until the stick would come on fire. And then the elephant would burn more sticks, and then he would put stones on those sticks to make those stones very hot, because they're in the fire. And then he would put those stones in a pool of water so that the pool of water became hot. That's a clever elephant, right? And then the elephant invited the Buddha to take bath in that pool of water. So, and of course, the elephant would take various kinds of fruits in the forest and bring them to the Buddha to eat. Then there was a monkey, and the monkey also saw how this elephant is taking care of the Buddha. And so the monkey thought, I also want to do something for the Buddha. So the monkey found honeycomb. Do you know what's a honeycomb? Honeycomb, that's what you get when either people take it from a beehive or the bees leave for some reason. Maybe they're afraid of something or whatever. So they leave the honeycomb behind their beehive. So the monkey saw a honeycomb like this. He saw it, abandoned by the bees. So the monkey took this honeycomb and brought it to the Buddha. But the Buddha, although he accepted it, he did not eat it. He did not eat the honey. And the monkey was wondering, why doesn't the Buddha eat the honey? So the monkey looked at the honeycomb and he saw that there are a little, like worms, like larvae, little living beings inside the honey. So the monkey carefully picked them out and then gave the honey to the Buddha again. And thereafter the Buddha ate the honey. So when the monkey saw that the Buddha eats the honey, the monkey was so happy, so extremely happy that the monkey was jumping from branch to branch, another branch and another branch, and then he did not hold well and he fell on the ground and died. And as the monkey died, he was born in heaven as a god. So the monkey died, but he was born as a god. So weird, isn't it? After 3 months of being in the forest, the monks came to invite the Buddha to a monastery. And so the elephant, when the monks came, the elephant came, and the elephant informed the Buddha that intruders came. And the Buddha says, no, they're not intruders, they're good monks. And so the elephant paid respect to the monks and allowed them to come to the Buddha. But then when the Buddha was going to leave, the elephant again stood on the way and hindered, how to say that, he made the obstacle, he made it impossible for them to go. So the monks were wondering, why is the elephant now blocking the path? And the Buddha says, monks, the elephant wants to donate to you meal tomorrow. So we will have to wait here until tomorrow. So the monks were waiting, throughout the night in the forest. And then the next day in the morning, the elephant brought many bananas and fruits from the tree and donated them to the monks. And so the monks thought, okay, fine, now let's go. So they took the Buddha that they will be going, But the elephant again stood on the path and again did not want them to leave. And the Buddha then speaks to the elephant. Dear elephant, now I am leaving. I will not be returning. We need to go. And so the elephant gave way. But the elephant was so sad, so extremely sad, so immensely sad, that the elephant died by the grief. And guess what happened then? Anyone? Any idea what happened with the elephant? Yeah, Andre? You just guess. Whatever you want to guess, you can guess. Anyone has any guess what happened with the elephant after the elephant died? Tenza has any idea?
He was reborn.
Of course, but where? So, who thinks that the elephant was born in a lower realm? If yes, raise your hand. Andre doesn't know. Okay, who thinks that the elephant was born in heaven? Andre doesn't know. Nobody knows. It's difficult, isn't it? Yeah, the elephant was born in heaven. If you die being happy about the Buddha, or if you die being sad because you love the Buddha, you get born in heaven. In both cases. Because there is respect, because there is love, because there is appreciation of the good qualities of the Buddha, of the fact that the Buddha is happy with little, that the Buddha is satisfied, that the Buddha is wise, that he is not greedy, that he is not angry. And because the elephant was very much appreciative of the Buddha's good qualities, he died and he was born in heaven. The point here is the good qualities, not the dying or the sadness or whatever. It's because the elephant was attached to good qualities. And when you're attached to good thing, that brings good result. If you're attached to bad thing, then that brings bad result. For example, when the fish was attached to the other fish, thinking, oh, this fish is a beautiful fish. So he is attached to sensual pleasures, to the pleasures in the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and the mind. And those are bad qualities, because sensual pleasures are empty. There is nothing you can really get there, you know. The sensual pleasures are only a result of something. They are not something that you can use for anything. And the desire for sensual pleasures, when it's too much, it is not appreciated even in the Western world, like the US and Europe. But in Asia, all desires for sensual pleasures are understood as dangerous, because there is attachment, there is expectation, there is worry. In the beginning, you work hard to get the pleasures. Then when you get them, you worry that you lose them, and in the end, you lose them anyway. So sensual pleasures in the eye, seeing nice things, hearing nice things, smelling nice things, tasting nice things, touching nice things, thinking about nice things, that is a problem. And the problem is even bigger because it's hard to realize that it's a problem. You know, if you already know that it's a problem, then it's not such a big problem. Like, for example, if you see a cobra, then you know, oh, cobra is dangerous, so you avoid it. So cobra is a problem, but you avoid it, so it is not such a big problem. Because why? Because you avoid it, right? But suppose that you see a cobra and you think, oh, that's a cute little pet. I am going to hug the cobra. You see, so then you have a double problem. Not only that the cobra is dangerous, but you don't even know it. And the same problem is with the sensual pleasures. So sensual pleasures are a problem because they cause suffering, and they're a double problem because it's hard to realize that they cause suffering. People kill, steal, commit adultery, they tell lies, they drink alcohol because of sensual pleasures. All right, so when somebody dies with thoughts about bad qualities or bad things or unskillful things, then they go down. If they die with thought on good things, good qualities, such as they die thinking, oh, I was generous and I gave clothes to my dear son, or I was kind and I helped somebody to be, and I, for example, provided medicine to someone, or for example, I meditated. So when you die with these thoughts about what you did good and that you want to do good, well, then you go up. If you die with thoughts that are related to sensual pleasures, that you want to enjoy with a girl or a boy, or that you want to enjoy sensual pleasures, like, oh, I want to play this game, I need to finish this game. And then if you die, where will you go? Down. All right? Be careful about that. So you know that I will be finishing the lessons at 9, so of course I will not have an opportunity to use this, okay, until 9, because I'm teaching and teaching and teaching and teaching. Thank you. All right, so that was the main point about the fish to learn. So if you worry that you die, you first of all must create thoughts of love. Love, not sexual love, but love for your parents, love for your friends, love for all living beings. Love means that you wish everyone to be in peace, to enjoy peace. What is peace? Peace is the freedom from restlessness. It is the freedom from greed and hatred. The greed and hatred are a kind of restlessness. Well, they're a little different, but it is the freedom, peace is the freedom from laziness and from doubt. So you wish all beings to be in peace, like mother loves her only child. That's the exemplary love. All right, because the mother wishes that the child is alive and happy and healthy and well fed and peaceful. So that's what we wish to all living beings. So we become mothers of all beings. So whenever you come into danger, first of all, start to radiate loving kindness. May all beings, including me, be in peace. Whenever you are afraid, when you think, oh, this is dangerous, or you worry that there is a ghost, or that there is somebody who's not nice, or who will harm you, radiate loving kindness. May all beings, including me, be in peace. And just allow that loving kindness to shine through every living being in that place and everywhere else in the world. I do it too. Sometimes when I'm afraid that there are ghosts, sometimes when I'm afraid that there is somebody dangerous, I radiate loving kindness. And then the fear disappears. And because I do it very often, when I dream and I see somebody evil in my dream, I also radiate loving kindness to the other person. Or if I worry that I will die because I'm falling off a cliff or something, then again I radiate loving kindness. So I wake up and I'm so happy. So that's what you can do. All right, let's continue. Emily is not in here, so we will be working on 20. Someone else. May is also not in here. Do we have May? No, we don't. So somebody else will be working. Oh, that's still the story 15. Oh, that's a disaster. We are delayed with story 15. So what about Tenza? Can you read for us story 21?
Once there was a group of senior monks who were going to a monastery and decided to stay at a lodging, then continuing, but a group of 6 monks hurried ahead and took all of the lodging, so they didn't have a place to stay. At dawnbreak, the Buddha saw one and asked why he was here, and the monk explained what happened. Then the Buddha called the monks and asked about the group and if it was true. The monks said yes, and the Buddha asked who should have the best robes, the best lodging, and the best alms. He listened to all the answers and explained that even animals knew it was not proper, and told a story of an elephant, monkey, and partridge who wanted to know who was the oldest so they could honor them. So they asked about how tall was a tree when they first saw it. They all answered, and in the end, the partridge was the oldest.
Yes, this is a very famous story. This is a very famous story, and it's very important. All right? It teaches us that we always need to respect those who are elder. Lay people respect the elders so you respect your parents and the elder people, and monks respect elder monks. Actually, monks do not respect elder lay people. So I'm 36 years old. Suppose if there is a 90 years old gentleman coming to see me, he actually pays respect to me, because virtue is more important than seniority. So whether you are old or young, if your virtue, your official virtue, not the one you just decided for, but your official virtue, whether you are a layperson or a monk, is more important than the age. But then those who follow the same virtue, again, if they're older, you need to pay respect to them. If they're younger, they pay respect to you. So that's how it works. So first it goes for the virtue, and then according to the virtue, you go according to the age. All right. So always whenever you speak, whenever you deal with elder people, you need to pay respect to them, because they have more experience in their life. They may not have the knowledge of certain things that you have, but they have more experience in their life. They have more experience with dealing with others, with resolving problems. And they have survived longer than you. They survived longer than you. They did not commit suicide. They did not die because of some disease or something. They lived longer than you. So you have also the appreciation for a longer life. And you appreciate them. Oh, you lived longer. But the life experience is very important in here. It's very hard to understand that the power of life experience is extremely hard, because you have your experience and you're very proud of your experience. It's very hard to understand that someone could know more, but they do. They do. So elder people, even though they do not seem to know certain things you know, they have more life experience. They understand better how to live a life and what are the troubles of life, because they went through them. Nice. So let's continue. Tiri is not in here, but Tiri has done her homework. So I don't know what to do with that. Then Valentina, can you read for us 23a?
Okay. In Kosala, there was a fishing village that one day randomly had bad luck with catching fish because they always caught fish. They concluded that someone was causing this bad fortune, so they decided to keep splitting up groups until they found who was the cause of this, and they soon found out that it was a family with a woman who was pregnant. When that baby was born, the family continued to have bad luck, so they abandoned the child. The child had bad luck from then on and soon became a bhikkhu from the help of another bhikkhu, but still had bad luck and never got food. One day he was able to get food because of Venerable Sariputta's merit and power, but ended up dying that day. Then a satya was built for the collected ashes, and some bhikkhus were sitting in a hall when one of them was saying that he's been having this bad luck because long, long ago, in his past life, he prevented others from getting food, so in those next hundreds and thousands of years he was reborn, he always had the worst fortune.
Yes, very well. Yeah, this is a very powerful story, especially for monks who are greedy for a monastery, for someone else's monastery. Okay, what about Yamona? You are working on 23b. Yamona is gone, so you continue with Zue. Zue, 24. Please unmute yourself.
The Buddha asked a certain bhikkhu if he was stubborn, and he said yes. The Buddha told the bhikkhu he died from a snake bite because he was so stubborn. A viper slithered into a hut and stayed there, and the ascetic who lived there had become friends with the viper. When a teacher heard about one of the ascetics having a viper, the teacher told him to let the viper go, but because the ascetic was stubborn, he didn't listen. And then a few days later, all the ascetics went to the forest to get fruits, but when the ascetics came back, the viper was mad at the ascetic who had been taking care of it, and then the ascetic got bitten by the viper and died.
Yeah, this is another story about conceit. Yeah, we have quite a lot of stories in our scriptures about conceit. Listening to another person's advice is extremely important. Always remind yourself, I know nothing. That's so helpful. Because when you remind yourself, I know nothing, and you have the enthusiasm to know everything, okay, both of them must be there. I know nothing, but I want to know everything. These two must be there. All right. So as you think as you persuade yourself that you know nothing, you therefore can persuade yourself to work hard to know everything. So whenever anyone tells you something, you're very careful and you try to find out whether it's true or not. And if you find out it's true, you remember it and you make use of it. It doesn't mean that everybody knows everything. No. Just like you know nothing, others also miss out a lot of important information. So whenever you learn something from someone, you need to remember it, note it down, follow it, and check it. See if it is really true. Because there's a lot of false information. There's a lot of lie and deception in the world. So you need to be very careful and smart to uncover a lie and deception, and to find out what is really true. But there are some institutions, some groups of people who are generally true. For example, medical doctors are usually true. All right? Or professors at universities are usually true. Some of them are wrong. And in some things, they are wrong. Yeah. But mostly they are true. So if someone on the street tells you, um, actually snakes are born from bananas, then and then you read in then your professor tells you, but actually snakes are born from eggs, and those eggs are not in bananas. Well, then probably the professor is true, and probably the guy from the street is not true. Again, you need to check. You have Google, so you can go to Google and you can check. So, how are snakes born? Or you can ask, are snakes born from bananas? And Google will usually already know it. And it will tell you, no, no, snakes are not born from bananas. It doesn't mean that Google is right. Sometimes Google is also wrong. But you look, you check, where is it coming from? Is there any video of snakes being born? That's probably reliable, isn't it? So then you look at the video. So it's about learning more and more knowledge. The more knowledge you have, the better. And most importantly, keep up with the knowledge at school. Do not try too much to get knowledge that you don't get at school. That's a disaster. First get the knowledge that's at school. Learn it, understand it. Read the textbooks from your school. That is the basis. Later you can learn some other knowledge. Who cares? Now is the time for you to learn these basics. You need to know it, remember it, and understand it very well. No other knowledge is needed for at this moment. Later you will build on this knowledge and you will find out, aha, these things I learned at school, many of them are wrong. But you will find out why, and you will know what is this thing that's wrong. If you don't even know the basis, then how can you say that it's wrong? You first need to know it. So first of all, make sure that you learn carefully everything that you learn at school. Especially follow the textbooks and follow your notes. All right. So, Yamona, can you read for us 23b? Yamona, you're muted.
Long ago, in the days of Kasapa Buddha, there was a young bhikkhu that lived at a small village monastery and was supported by the landowner. One day, a senior bhikkhu came to the landowner, and the landowner invited him in to stay at the monastery. The young bhikkhu thought the senior bhikkhu would take his spot, so he tried to make him leave. The landowner offered a meal to both bhikkhu, but the young bhikkhu didn't bring the senior bhikkhu to the landowner's house because he threw away the food donated for the senior bhikkhu. When the senior bhikkhu left, the young bhikkhu felt guilty. He was reborn in hell as a yaka, as a dog, as a very poor human, and has suffered many lives with bad luck and never had enough food.
Very well, thank you. Now let me see if we can get 20 and 15. I see. So actually 20, Emily did her homework, but May didn't. No, it's the other way. Emily did, yeah, and May didn't do it. May didn't do the number 15. And I do not see story 14 in the comment. Story 13. Andre, did you upload your story 13 in Facebook? Because I don't see it there.
I did. I think I forgot to set it in the Facebook,
Yes.
but
Everybody, please check the Facebook because everything is ready. All right. Look at this. It's all ready. So I can see here from the note about comment where you have uploaded and where you did not. All right. So I know that we are missing. We are missing here for story 13, which is Andre. We are missing for story 14, which is Emily, and we're missing for story 15, which is May. Okay, so then it's good. No, I don't see story 16. Where's story 16? That is Valentina and Yamona. Valentina, did you upload your story? Because I don't see it here.
I think that one, I think I might have posted it in Viber or...
I see some of you probably posted in Viber, but there it is not useful. Do not post ever your homework in Viber. Totally unnecessary. Only in the Facebook. So here you have story 16. Always check for the number in the brackets. So the Adventures of Magha. Valentina worked on that, and Yamona also. Yamona, did you did you try to upload the story of Magha in Facebook? Yamona, can you unmute yourself?
I thought my mom uploaded it in Facebook.
Okay, so you need to tell your mom that I still cannot see it, and it's the Adventures of Magha. All right, that's about the young man with his 33 friends, or 32, who were building bridges and rest houses, and then they were born in heaven, and then the King Sakka, he invited his wife, who was still a geese, to follow the 5 precepts, to not kill, and then she was born with him. Then she was also born in a heaven. So that's the story. We already spoke about it, and now let's look at which stories will you have for next time. So because we do have 20, so we just did not. I will have May to read her story 20, but where is that? So May will be reading her story 20. 15 is done, or is it the other way? 20 is actually done, and 15 is not. Okay, so 20 is done, so Emily will read it next time when she comes. 15 is not done, so somebody else will have it. And Tenza, what about if you take story 24? It is just 2 pages. It is actually 1.5 page. Look at that. It is 1.5 page. Okay, Tenza. Then Valentina. Valentina, you can take story 25. That also is about 2 pages. See, that's 1 big page and 2 pages. Yes, Andre?
Doesn't it say Zoe 24?
Excuse me?
Doesn't it say for Zoe to take 24?
Oh, that's right. Perfect. Thank you very much. So let's give Tenza 25. That's those 2 pages, and Valentina can take 26. It's a little longer. Skychar. Or you know what? Because Valentina was reading a lot I will exchange that. So Valentina will have 25, which is very short, and Tenza will have 26, which is a little longer. And then we have Yamuna. Yamuna will have very short one. That's 27. It's again about 2 pages. And finally Zue. Zue will have a longer one, 28. That is about 6 pages. All right. It is not really fair, but I am doing my best. All right. Anyone has any questions, any concerns regarding the homework? Everything is clear? Nice. So it was a pleasure to see everybody. I hope to see you next week. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you soon attain the eternal bliss of Nibbana.
Goodbye, Venerable Sir.